Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Like so many residents of Crooked Tree Village, Ricky Burns has a passion for growing cashews. The Belize Watch team recently visited his farm, Plan B Cashew Productions. Burns told us how he got into the winemaking business and spoke of ways that climate change has affected the cashew fruit. We will have that conversation after we hear from our partners: the Belize Tourism Board, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Barry, and Shell Belize Limited.
Do you know how to protect yourself against mosquito bites? First, eliminate mosquito breeding sites in and around the home. If you're in a place where there are many mosquitoes, dress in long sleeves clothes and pants. Use repellent on skin and clothing. Preventative measures are particularly important for pregnant women, newborns, and people with chronic diseases. If you sleep in an area where there are a lot of mosquitoes, use a mosquito net. Avoid visiting where there is standing water or accumulated garbage, as they can be breeding sites for mosquitoes. Share this information with your family and neighbors. Without breeding sites, there are no mosquitoes, and without mosquitoes, there's no dengue.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Piles.
Shell V Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Unique, breathtaking, diverse are just some of the words that come to mind when describing Belize. To sustain the wonder, the beauty, the rich ecosystems around us, we must protect our wildlife, our trees, our marine life, and our barrier reef. For the future, for the next generation. This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
I'm on the farm of Ricky Burns. And Ricky, your farm, you're telling me, is named Plan B?
Plan B.
Which one? Where's Plan A?
Plan B, I'm a Burns, so that don't be already. And then if Plan A, if for some reason one thing not work out, you always have the other Plan B. So,
Which one is Plan A?
Plan A is right now Plan B. Okay. Also, it sounds a little confusing, but anyway, I just say I always like that name because it gives you another option, Plan B. If Plan A no work, Plan B.
Okay, so your farm name is Plan B
Production
here.
company.
Plan B Production Company, and you produce cashew wine. What do you produce exactly?
Cashew wine, and not the last year, but also make a good berry wine.
Okay.
I have some very old berry wines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cashew wine and berry wine are 2 delicious local wines that are always enjoyed by Belizeans, right? Ricky, let's get to know a bit more about you. How did you get into Plan B Productions?
My mom is originally from this village. I wasn't born here, but I came here after Hurricane Greta. I lost some chops in Turnef, and then I ended up here, and I just said, this is my my ancestry and my mom's, all of my mom's ancestors are from here. So so then I came here and then I got involved with the cashews and I've always done the winemaking demonstration when we have the cashew fest and all that out there to show them because I had to learn and like cashew is a very interesting but anyway to go back to my roots we want to think about a dear cousin or friend of mine Sam Tillett.
Sam was a very good friend of mine. Sam
Yeah,
Tillett.
yeah, I could understand that. A lot of people, when Sam passed away, he was missed by a lot of people. He loved the outdoors. He loved hunting. He loved to make people feel comfortable. You know, he's always gonna be missed. He was a great guy.
Yeah. I can remember the early days coming here to Crooked Tree, and the first person I would look for would be Sam. As a matter of fact, Sam would make sure that I am here in Crooked Tree. Sam would make sure that I'm well taken care of. And we're talking about the 80s, perhaps the early 90s, I think. Yeah, when I would use Crooked Tree as perhaps my favorite visiting spot, just to come and spend some time with Sam Tillett and family. So um, maybe we should dedicate this presentation we're going to do to his memory, right? Since he's your first cousin
That would be
and was
wonderful.
a wonderful friend of mine and a great son of Crooked Tree, Sam Tillett. May he rest in peace. Unfortunately, Sam lost his life in a hunting incident, right?
He loved to hunt. I would pass by his house and I say, Ricky, say, come there tomorrow. Say, I'm gonna give nut for you. And most of the time you go there and Sam don't gotta give nut clean and cook up and things. So he knew how to find the game. And that was the love of his life. He was always he started a little tour. He had some few rooms and all that, and they did really good. People came from all over the world to stay at Sam's place, and then unfortunately, that was very tragic. He was running, cutting across some pecaries, and then he had just had a heart attack. So he'll be missed. He was a good guy.
Definitely, definitely. So, Sam, we hope, in my case, my very good friend, and in your case, your cousin,
My first cousin.
your first cousin, Sam, rest in peace. So we dedicate this little conversation to his memory.
That's very good. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, let's turn to your mom now. Tell me about your mom. You said you learned all this from your mom,
Well,
and because you were out in Turner Flats, you said.
I was Crooked Tree Village is where my ancestry is from my mom's side. My grandma had, I think, about 14. I can't even be sure. But Sam's dad, it was one uncle, my mom, then Sam's dad. So, and then we have a lot. We only have three remaining right now. But my mom was always into whatever fruit she got her hands on. So at a very young age, I got involved in winemaking, And I remember the first time I snuck, had no idea how wine operates. So I had this little lemonade pint, but I made a mistake of corking it, and that became like that exploded. The whole net was red, and I got a spanking. But so when I became an adult, she always told me, say, I always knew you were gonna make wine. So, so, so that's how I got involved with my roots are here, and also I mean you get any kind of juice, and you can make some good juice or wines from it. Yeah.
No, cashew wine. This is the wine that you one of the wines you specialize in. And you mentioned something interesting just now that the cashew wine, if it's in the heat, it will just explode, right?
No. The reason that little bottle exploded, it was through the first harsh fermentation stage.
Yeah.
So it bottled up and boom. But no. When you make a wine and you understand how to do the air trap and all that, to let the gases out, but not let air in, you get a good wine. Because if air gets in, then it turns to vinegar. So you learn the chemistry afterwards, and everything, how to go about securing your wine. So I actually have a bottle of cashew wine that I made, and it's my last bottle, so I can't offer anybody else any more for this, but I made it in the year 2000. I would like if you wanted to just have a tiny little,
I would welcome
a
that.
little taste of this
I would
wine. So,
welcome
and
that.
you tell me what you think about this wine, so I can go and get that
Yeah,
really
we
quick
could do that.
and
Yeah, we could do
or
that. We could do that
afterwards, or
after the show or a little
afterwards.
later on as we walk around because I want to walk around and see
Yeah,
exactly what you do. But the reason why I mentioned about the heat and the wine, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I can recall having a bottle of wine. I think it was cashew wine, leaving it in the back of my vehicle. The vehicle was very hot, and the bottle just exploded in the back of the vehicle. You know anything about
yeah.
why
I think
what would
what
cause that?
happened there. I think the only reason that thing happened right there is because that wine was a new wine and it was
Mm-hmm.
still fermenting.
Mm-hmm.
It was still in a fermentation stage, so it became like a champagne. It
But
had to
just
explode.
it
The
has to
heat,
explode the heat.
but
Yeah.
because if a wine is cured, of course you want to keep your wine cool.
Uh-huh.
But normally a cured wine shouldn't just explode like that.
Yeah, and I forgot that incident. I was in there and it splattered out all the equipment, and I go like, okay, then wine bottle just pow. You know, I found it very surprising. You know, but I learned a lesson that day. And don't don't leave wine like that in the back of the vehicle. I didn't know about the fermentation. You just taught me
I
a
think it was
lesson
a
just
new
now.
wine. I think it
It
was
was
a
a
new wine,
wine,
and that's
yeah,
why
new wine.
he kept fermenting and kept pressurizing the bottle, and then with the heat, it just blew up.
Yeah. Okay, so you are settled here at Plan B Productions. Um, you live here on the ranch, or you spend time in the state? How does that work for you?
I've been getting smarter now. I spend the harsh because I live in the mountains of North Carolina. So
Really?
I spend the harsh winter months here. I do
Mm.
3 months in that time, and then of course I'll be here when the cashews are in. So actually I do two trips of 3 months each, which is nice because I'm still building this house and I'm still finishing up, and so I get to be here, and while we're harvesting the cashews, we're still doing some construction on the house.
So I guess the plan is to move back home eventually, right?
Of course, so I don't
Fully.
think fully. I don't think I want to be in my 90s, and when you walk outside, it's 23 degrees.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no, no.
you know. So definitely the cold is harsh up there, and I mean if you leave a bucket outside where I live in the mountains, we're about 3,000 feet above sea level. In the morning it's frozen, it's swell where it's so frozen. So that could give you an idea of the area I live. So the idea is to just maybe go back for some good medical because you know it's better there. But this is always home.
This is home, and home is so beautiful. I always describe Belize as the most beautiful country in the world, where we can find almost anything that nature provides, except snow. And a cool thing you talk about.
Right. And even though we, Belize hot, but I remember I took some people, our little chill is penetrating. I took some people from Idaho once on the Black Creek on a boat ride, and they got real chilly. And she said, Ricky, she said, this is different. This because of the humidity. She said, this is a damp, this is a penetrating cold. So I don't know. I don't think we would survive if it would snowed here. I don't think people would make it.
No, definitely not. But going back to the cashew now, how is the crop going this year?
Well, it'd be nice to if I could walk around and show you
I would
some
welcome
of the
that.
effects of the climate that I could see.
I could well welcome that.
So let's walk around so I could show you some of the effects of climate change on this cashew. And cashew is a perfect fruit to show the effects of climate change.
Okay, let's do that. I mean, let's just do that. Okay. And yes, we have moved on to. How many acres of land you have?
This is about 5 acres.
Okay.
And as you can tell, because you came in, it's all covered with lone cashew.
But Ricky,
It's thick with cashew. I have a problem now finding places to plant other fruit trees.
but Ricky, we had to go through two different fences.
Yes, my cousin, he has horses, and so far we haven't put a separation out so I could just drive right through. So, also, he raises some nice horses, so we have to keep them in.
For the horses.
Yeah,
Protection.
yeah. So we produce more for them so they don't get escape and get hit by a car or something.
All right, Ricky, what we got here?
All right. So
You said you
this
were pointing this out
this
to me here.
normally would be a normal cashew. You see how this is solid? Then this is gonna ripen and become a really good cashew. Now, same as over here. This will be a yellow, pretty cashew, but except if you notice the heat, the effect of global warming is cracking up. Because right now, normally we'd have had a lot of yellow cashew for you. I walked through this whole place and only one tree was I able to find, and you could see.
So this is just spreading like this on its own.
Yeah, the heat and the drought. The heat and the drought. And over here, you could see the other effects on it. This is he just bursts them up. He just bursts them up. It cracks them up.
Yeah, this and in more than one place.
See,
too.
and now Crooked Tree, we have the best soil for cashews because in the 80s, some people came from visiting from the cashew producing countries, and I had just dug a well, and they were impressed because, like Boreal Boom, those places, you go down 2 feet, you hit clay. Right here, you dig down here right now, you have to go 6 feet before you hit clay. This is what the cashews thrive in, and these trees are hundreds of years old from the first settlers, but you can't ignore this. This has never happened before, and now this is the 4th year. It's been like really. This is a crop to show you how the climate change is really affecting.
And is there anything you can do to mitigate that?
When that happens, like there's a fungus gets on that. See?
Yeah.
So that can't be good, you know. But that happens after this happens. So it's not like the trees had a fungus and all that, but
So-
that's gonna happen when the fruit spoils like that.
So when it spoils like this, the fungus grows around it.
The only thing about it is doesn't seem to affect the nut. That nut is solid. If I cut that open right now, it's solid. So what we have to do, we have to wash these nuts, and I'm hoping everybody does that because you want to wash off everything off of them. And although fire kill anything, you know, if you're going to roast quickly, but if you want to save your nuts for a while, you want to protect them. And
So you can still get the right cashew nut out of this.
oh yeah, that
Does it affect the taste of the nut?
no,
Quality
it does not affect it's the fruit that whatever this climate.
It's just the fruit.
It look like the fruit is this fruit is made for the fruit and the nut to mature together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we get a lot of freak rains, this ripens forcefully and this not get time to fill up. So the climate has a lot to do with how cashew bear. It has to be just right.
So what's happening is that the nut is maturing, but the fruit itself.
And then once the fruit, this happens to the fruit, the nut can't work because he relies on the fruit to mature it.
And so it remains small.
But I can cut this one open to you so you could see that this is a solid nut. It still has, it's solid. It has the kernel in it. So we still don't throw, we see it's solid.
Yeah, it's solid.
See it's solid. So we just gotta wash these nuts and protect them and take good care of them.
Yeah.
I could show you one more tree where you could see the real effect. Chief, if you just walk around here with me, you could see how it really affects a lot of it.
Some of these trees are blown over because of the hurricanes, huh? At the years of hurricanes.
It's such a survivor because all the wild trees are laying down, but they push up, they don't die. No, this is a perfect tree for you to get a good shot of how bad it's affected.
Yeah.
Look, and this is the only tree that I was able to get a few fruits so you could have taste a little cashew. Out of 5 acres, I only had this one tree that gave me a few little yellow fruits, and they're small. For right now. Right now. Yeah, so it's
small like this, or it's just this.
a tree has a certain size or not. But now with the climate change, even the smaller one have gotten a little smaller in my mind, the way I see it. Yeah. This sandy soil is also so good for growing pineapples, as you can see.
Pineapples, and they're thriving. But
Yeah.
pineapples are thriving.
Oh yeah,
Look at this
the
one over
climate
there.
change is not. It's interesting that it affects the cashews, but it doesn't affect the pine.
Well, tell me something. Wouldn't the age of the trees have something to do with the whole thing?
Because this is the 4th year that this has happened to them. They never used to do that before, and they're hundreds of years old. So how suddenly now? I think it's the heat and the drought because it's been really hot and very dry.
And this has been very dry this year, indeed.
So that that could show you exactly what's happening to the cashews. The hurricanes usually come from the east, you know, when they come show that Belize. And you could see where these trees are leaning.
After this break, we will have a closer look at the process of cashew roasting. We take a break to hear from our partners, the Belize Tourism Board, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Barry, and Shell Belize Limited.
Do you know how to protect yourself against mosquito bites? First, eliminate mosquito breeding sites in and around the home. If you're in a place where there are many mosquitoes, dress in long sleeves clothes and pants. Use repellent on skin and clothing. Preventative measures are particularly important for pregnant women, newborns, and people with chronic diseases. If you sleep in an area where there are a lot of mosquitoes, use a mosquito net. Avoid visiting where there is standing water or accumulated garbage, as they can be breeding sites for mosquitoes. Share this information with your family and neighbors. Without breeding sites, there are no mosquitoes, and without mosquitoes, there's no dengue.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
Shell V Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Unique, breathtaking, diverse are just some of the words that come to mind when describing Belize. To sustain the wonder, the beauty, the rich ecosystems around us, we must protect our wildlife, our trees, our marine life, and our barrier reef for the future, for the next generation. This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
We could do the roasting.
Oh,
now.
you're doing some
Tony.
roasting behind you?
Done.
Oh,
So we're going to have Anthony show us the process so the people they know why cashew seed not cheap, because this is hard work.
and especially now with the scarcity of it,
Yeah.
you know.
What I would love to advise the people here to quit burning under their trees because they're heating up.
That's a good example.
I would love for them to stop raking and burning, because what they're doing is they're cooking the trees. It's already hot, and then you're gonna still light a fire under your cashew tree. You know, so that's making it worse.
So the custom is really to rake up all these
Yeah,
dry leaves.
this is one of the
and
only
burn them. But you're
properties.
saying leave the leaves
This
on the
is
ground.
one of the only properties that you would have leaves like this. Everybody just they rake up under the tree and they burn the leaves because they want clean ground. And me, I want the leaves because that's my canopy for my fruits to fall on since I make wine.
Okay.
And the leaves continue to be a fertilizer anyway.
We are at your roasting site.
Yeah, this is a processing shed. We roast under the ground so that the fire is minimized, because cashew nuts are very toxic. It has a very toxic oil on it. You want to stay upwind. And this is Anthony Flowers. He works for me.
Anthony, how you doing?
He's my best friend. He's my student. He's doing carpentry. He's doing anything, and he's very reliable, very honest. And he's gonna show us how to make a roast.
Okay. So what you have the cashew seeds already? In? Oh, he's going to push the
No,
seeds in now.
he's gonna pour that in now. That pan needs to be red hot. And then you don't want to put too much at a time because you want this roast to be done quick. You want this roast to complete. It doesn't take long because this is a small roast. I would say maybe 10 minutes the most. But what we have here is a very resinous pine. Very resinous. Belize has one of the most resinous Caribbean pine ever. You know, all over the world they have hard pine and all that. None of them could compare to this with resin.
Okay.
So that's the wood you want. So it's
It
blazing.
burns good, huh?
Yeah, it blazes. So the idea is to burn the outer shell really quick so that the inside is still fairly raw, and that way when you break them out, you get more whole ones.
Okay. And you have to keep stirring, right?
You have to keep stirring because you want everybody to get the same heat as good as you could. And
What would happen if you would stop stirring?
well, the ones underneath might burn more than the other ones on top. So you want to keep rotating. Other countries have machines that do this.
Okay.
This young man, before he started working for me, he never used a mask, and I could tell you this is toxic.
Yeah.
So I got him. He never roasts without a mask now.
Okay.
And you got to stay upwind from this.
And that's why we are moving around now. So we stay away from the smoke. So he will continuously stir that for the entire process.
Yeah, he's
How long
gonna.
you said it would take for this little batch?
That it's not going to take long before it catches on fire.
Oh, when it catches.
It'll catch on fire inside because you do the smaller the roast, the quicker it catches. The idea is to get this to where when you start to break them out, the inside is still raw, and outside is cooked.
Yeah.
So that's why that didn't take long.
Okay.
Then he's gonna pull that off. He's gonna pull that off the fire and put it out. It's important that you put it out. Put it out really quick with some green bush. He knows exactly how much longer he needs to stir because this is what he does.
So the seeds themselves are burning now.
Yes,
The seeds,
yes,
the
yes.
oil from
And
the
then
seeds.
now you're gonna smolder that. You're gonna put that out. This smoke is very toxic. You don't want to. You never want to inhale that. It's very toxic.
So you move away. We're moving away from the smoke. Let's tell folks that.
He caught on fire again.
It's on fire again.
He could put that out quite easy.
Okay. That's not usual, then, that they will catch fire again.
Well, you don't want them burned. You don't want them burned.
Okay. So you're seeing an unusual event there.
Yeah.
Fire
Normally that wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't happen. So what?
But the pot was so hot that the oil, any little.
Oil would
All right.
catch fire.
So what we have here now, we have he can't touch those yet. So we have to give him a little break because that's very hot. The next thing he's gonna do is this is our breaking station right here.
Okay.
This area right here is where we sit.
All locally made, rustic, right?
Yes. There was an old tree there, and I personally put these thick. I got some serious 2x4s going through the tree. So this thing is sturdy. 4 people could sit around here and break. So, you could throw some ashes on it.
So how long before he can touch?
He's gonna put some ashes. We burn ashes because the ashes suck up the oil. So and that's pretty hot. So he's gonna need a little. How much time, Ton? 10 minutes. Before you go.
10 minutes.
Okay, sure. So
Okay, so this
the ashes made from what? From
this is ashes. All the same limbs that we have to trim up in the yard. Any kind of limbs we burn and we turn it into ashes.
and I guess some of the ashes from there would work as well, right?
Well,
From the fire.
that's not the best ashes because it's pine.
Okay.
So we got the other ashes that we use, and that sucks up the oil there. Put some more if you want on him.
Put some oils, eh?
Yeah. So this young man, he's very well versed with this. The reason I built this shed too, because we have a problem here in Crooked Tree. You can't roast if it rain.
Oh, okay.
So I decided I'm a builder, so why not,
Build a roof.
Cut some stick, make one roof. You notice it well sotted up there. So we could work rain or shine
work
right
rain or
here.
shine,
We
yeah.
could work rain or shine, and then I built this little 8x8. So after he breaks out the nuts, we put it in the oven right here.
Okay. So
We put it in the oven, and then it bakes the nuts, and then they clean it, and then they're ready for eat.
Okay. Okay, so you walk us through that process also, baking and cleaning.
Yes.
Okay, Ricky. So the ashes have been spread over the nuts that you just took off the fire.
Yes.
The nuts are now cooled,
Cool.
right?
Yeah, cool
And
enough.
now Anthony.
And now Anthony is gonna show us how he breaks the nut. We have to use the ashes because that oil is very toxic, and the ashes kind of soaks it up. He's gonna show you how successfully this was a good roast. You see this cashew nut is whole because it was a fast. He roasted it really quick. The outside of the shell is burnt up, but the inside is still raw. So that's why it takes. You could be here for a whole day breaking nuts. So sorry people, but cashew can't be cheap. We do the best to give you the best deal, but this is a lot of work. But see, everyone is whole because that was a successful roast. If he had let it cook too long, he would have burnt up this, and when he started breaking them, most of them would have break up in pieces.
And this is not really ready to be for human consumption yet, right? Because you have to bake it in an oven, right?
Yes. After we get these nuts, now we're gonna put it in the oven, put it in a tray, spread it out, and bake it. You don't wanna bake it harsh heat. You want to bake it slowly so that it doesn't burn, but it gets a pretty brown color.
Okay. And that's the pretty brown color that we usually see when
that
when
you
you buy
see.
cashew nuts.
That you see.
And so each nut, when you buy a nut like from Crooked Tree and these rural areas, it's done by hand. There's no
It's
machine.
all done by hand. We don't have no machines in Belize. That's why it's all done by hand.
And what if you hit the nut, Anthony? What if you hit the nut wrongly? What happened there? You mess it up or?
No, you not really mess it up. Yeah, hit it.
You have to make sure.
Yeah, hit it like this. Turn out this side.
Turn that side.
Yeah, the side. Yeah.
Okay. You can't hit it too hard, no?
No, you can't hit it too hard. Really.
So can I try one? Just for the fun, right?
Oh, you want to try one?
Yes, but you won't be mad at me if I mash it up, right?
No.
Make the chief sit down.
Make I try one just for the fun, right? And don't get mad at me if I mash it up because it'll be my first real attempt at this.
So you take the nut down and show the chief exactly where
All right.
to get first.
So I could sit here.
That's okay.
It's okay. All right. So I'm here.
You're the closer.
And then better
Okay.
you hold the microphone now.
Okay,
I guess I have to
okay.
hold it, not-
All right, the chief is gonna attempt breaking a cashew nut. So first you have to knock one end.
Start at this end here, right?
Yeah,
But turn it, make it the up on the edge. You have to dip on the edge. Yeah,
Like that.
turn it on the edge.
Sorry, I'm just I guess doing it my way.
But look, chief, you get a whole one out. Look at that.
Yeah, you see?
That's a perfect roast. That's a
Alright.
perfect roast.
Yeah,
That's
but
why it
that's
come out
all.
whole.
Let me
That's
see
a
it.
perfect
Let me see.
roast.
That was just luck.
You did turn it by the side too. You turn it on the edge.
Like this one.
See on the edge. Chief, put it up on the edge like that.
Oh, okay.
that way.
Oh,
No knock your
Oh,
finger.
like
No
this.
knock your finger. No knock your finger. And then you go wrong when you satisfy with that. No knock the back too much. You knock the end and then you go wrong and knock the next end.
well, just give me a
Chief.
little while.
You get good after a while. Look, whole again.
Holes, eh?
And the reason being the roast was perfect.
Yeah.
It was a perfect roast. So you hold it on the
Try
edge.
It's
And you
one
knock the
again.
lip part till you feel it give, and then you turn around, knock the other lip part, and because of a good roast, what happened?
There we go.
Whole one again. So that was a perfect roast
Yeah.
where Mr. Flowers put off there.
Mr. Flowers, you're a good guy. Look at that again.
Come on, good.
All right? Comes out very good.
You can be employed.
I can be employed. You're going to jump for me?
Turn it on the edge,
Sorry,
Chief. Yeah.
Other pocket, that's easy.
Make sure when you're done broke, You know, touch nothing with your hand. I got one stuff where I put on it to make you get rid of it because that you could make a tattoo out of this acid. So you know,
Sorry, I should have used
I know.
gloves earlier or something
Yes,
like that.
normally we use gloves, but
Yeah, use gloves.
some the older people never used to use that. So we want to experience the real.
The real stuff. There we go.
All right,
And those will be roasted again, so we don't
those
have
will
to
be
worry.
baked.
Baked, sorry.
Those will be baked in the oven,
Baked in the oven.
and then they clean off, and then they're ready.
Well, I'm doing good. I haven't broken one yet.
Yeah, no, you're doing good.
See, again.
Get in whole.
Well, say
Give,
no
give,
more.
give you one next clean up.
We are not clean up later, so.
Yeah. See,
And there we
perfect,
go again.
perfect. You have a perfect record right there, Chief.
Perfect record. So far, so good.
We at the Cashew Fest. At the Cashew Fest, we usually give this as a prize. We give a prize, a bottle of whole wine for who we give out 10 nuts to 5 people. Not only who done first, but who broke the wholest out of the 10.
Okay, well, this one
And that yeah. So maybe that one might never
So now they're not too good. But we are still dealing with that, man.
You're 16 out of 16.
you're determined.
No, you don't give up.
Your determination and will make you succeed, Chief. Yeah, look at that. All right, you knock really hard, all right, this about on the edge, and then you turn around and knock the back, the edge again, and then you open up. Gone clear, gone clear.
Man, this
You're a pro.
getting there.
No, I don't even think I ever broke so much hole.
No, Ricky.
That one is spongy, highly.
It's on highly. So maybe you roast it more.
Yeah, but
It's on kind of highly.
still look like you want to come out though.
But it's still not come out.
Still cooperate with the chief.
The corporation is challenge.
All right then.
This is fun.
I never know you may like that kind of work, Chief.
I have to help you one of these days. Right?
Oh my, look at that.
I know not too hard,
Yeah, he gone right there. So you see, so you see George is very bad, man, and it's obvious. That's why I was.
My sister does cashew nuts too in Boom, you know.
Yes.
So, but I have never done this with her.
Well, not tell her because she are jealous. So you do it with me and never do it with she first.
She want hire me now.
Whoa.
My sister Rena.
Look at that. That's a record. The chief knowing broke one.
Cashew Production Company, established 2018.
Yeah, we always have a problem with when it rain we can't roast, and I decided make one of these sheds so we could roast rain or shine.
And you'll be at the Cashew Fest, aren't you?
I'll be at the Cashew Fest. I'll be doing all the stuff that I usually do. I'll do the winemaking demonstration. We're gonna have cashew roasting, and we'll do a little contest with 5 people. See who can break the nuts. Show them why cashew nuts cost what they cost.
Exactly. And
know?
after having done a little bit there, and I know it costs a lot. And next time I'll put on some gloves. I
Yeah,
promise you.
let's
go wash it,
clean
go wash up.
your hand, Chief.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief. I find that this stuff called gugan, the one because this cashew acid is a very strong thing. But when you take that and rub them off with a cloth.
Of
Let
course,
me
the
get
best
a-
thing would have been to have used some gloves, obviously.
I normally I apologize for not having gloves for you.
No worry. I was the one that volunteered to do
After this now we're going to take a dry cloth
Okay.
and wipe
comes
it
off
off
easy.
wipe it off completely. With that stuff it comes off. If you use soap powder and all that stuff, it not even come off.
come off, okay.
That is a very strong stuff.
Okay, so it's gone.
It's gone.
As we wrap up our visit to Plan B Cashew Productions, we get to sample some freshly roasted cashew nuts. Burns will be joined by Chairman of Crooked Tree Village, George Tillett, as he previews the annual Cashew Fest, which will be held on May 13 and 14. We step aside for a word from our partners, the Belize Tourism Board, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Barry, and Shell Belize Limited.
Do you know how to protect yourself against mosquito bites? First, eliminate mosquito breeding sites in and around the home. If you're in a place where there are many mosquitoes, dress in long sleeves clothes and pants. Use repellent on skin and clothing. Preventative measures are particularly important for pregnant women, newborns, and people with chronic diseases. If you sleep in an area where there are a lot of mosquitoes, use a mosquito net. Avoid visiting where there is standing water or accumulated garbage, as they can be breeding sites for mosquitoes. Share this information with your family and neighbors. Without breeding sites, there are no mosquitoes, and without mosquitoes, there's no dengue.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Pay less.
Shell V Power with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Go well. Go Shell.
Unique, breathtaking, diverse are just some of the words that come to mind when describing Belize. To sustain the wonder, the beauty, the rich ecosystems around us, we must protect our wildlife, our trees, our marine life, and our barrier reef. For the future, for the next generation. This is our Belize. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you and me that me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean?
The nuts that have helped to crack are now being put in the oven, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be put in the oven. I turn the oven to about like 375. So we put it in the oven.
Can I have the honor of putting this in the oven?
Let's light this.
So-
Okay, so after that, Chief, we put this in the oven.
Like in here, so?
Yeah, we set that to about 375 degrees. And at first, it takes a while, but the more it gets brown, the quicker you have to stir it. So this is a very technical part where if you sleep up, you burn up your cashew seed. You have to be attentive and then constantly stirring them, and don't overheat them, and because they'll burn. You want a beautiful brown without burning them.
Okay.
So this is another process, after which we will take them out and start to peel off the outer skin.
Oh, the little skin that stays
Yes,
on
the
after
skin that
cracking.
stays on like a peanut has.
So let's look at the finished product now then.
Okay, this is a finished product right here. This is we have already peeled off this. We've already baked it, and we've peeled off the skin on the outside. So, Chief, please go ahead and try those.
Okay,
There, you can't get fresher than that. Really good,
Yeah, good.
and that's a nice color that they're supposed to have also. Yeah, so. That's mostly whole, so that's a good roast right there too.
Yep.
Because if you don't roast them good, you'll have a lot of pieces.
I say bag these off and sell them.
Yeah. After that, you bag them off, and then then you sell them by quart.
What's the price of quart?
Well, a quart costs $30 now. $30 per quart.
Quart would be how much more or less?
A quart would be a quart usually weighs about a pound.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be $30 Belize.
And that's more than what we have in this basin. That would be more than what is in this basin.
Yeah, this is less than a quart.
Less
This
than
is only a half. This is a pint.
Okay.
So it'd be $30 for twice this amount right here.
Okay. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Extremely reasonable. Right? I thought you say it costs a lot of money.
Well,
because you're saying it's very reasonable.
because well, yeah, it does. But you
It's a
know,
lot of
you know,
work
you
that
know
goes
how
into this thing.
people if they were used to 20, then they gone to 25, then they gone to 30, then the ball, you know, because it's what you're used to.
Well, the good part about it is it's not done. It's not in a tin. It's not imported.
It's fresh.
Totally fresh. It's local cashew seed.
And this one fruit here, the whole village, you can't get more organic than this because we don't even fertilize these trees.
Okay.
All we do is clean under them so we could pick up the fruit. We don't even fertilize them, so no kind of chemical on these trees.
And you use the leaves to help with the fertilization.
Yeah.
Process,
Well, it really works for me. I've seen the result. Another thing, we have a lot of termite that build nests on these trees, and I've found like like say 3/4 of this place I've already removed all the termites nests, and I see the improvement in the trees because the termite eat the trees. That's what they eat. You know, they coexist, but if you get rid of the termite nest off your cashew trees, you will see the improvement really quick.
So don't just ignore your cashew tree.
No.
Keep it clean.
You know, help them out. Help them out.
Yeah.
Help them out. I wish we could irrigate them because I did an experiment where under the tree where we process over there, we always have to be emptying out like a half a drum of water. And that tree last year, that tree started to push out blossom when cashew was done blossoming.
Well, maybe some of your problem that you're having here would be solved with an irrigation system.
Yeah, that would help. If you have a well and you want to, like, say you want to soak your property, you know, because you could use a pressure tank and just run hoses. You know, I wouldn't encourage people to drain the water system during 10 acres or like that. But if you, like say, most of us have a well. You could rig it up, which is my plan. I'm going to run some water because that's an experiment right there. And I already saw that water helps. They don't want the water on the tree, but if you soak the roots, they do better. They will push out blossoms when the other trees already stop blossoming. So I've watched that for 2 years happen.
Good. So coming to the cashew fest now, we have to come and look for you.
No.
The cashew fest now. So
I have several different things that I've dedicated to doing over the years. One of the first ones we do is coming to your station and talking about the cashew fest and, you know, promoting that. And then out there, I'm in charge. Well, we keep adding stuff. One of the popular things is we go on bitters contest, and I always give a whole bottle of wine for a prize. We have the one where 5 people sit down and break 10 nuts. That's catching on really good. Then the people realize, hey, this
I could enter that one.
Yes, and you feel free to enter that. Definitely. But it's and then I do the winemaking demonstration, and I would share a wine, a little older wine, and then with the people, because that fresh wine, you don't want to be drinking that. You know, people sell it and like that, but that's because of economics reason. But
you want the older age wine.
Yes, you want it because
you want to explode.
Cashew wine could get up to 22% alcohol. A regular table wine is like 10, 12. Cashew wine could get, we tested it already, it could get up to 22% alcohol. It has the two things that yeast plus sugar in chemistry goes straight to alcohol. And it's high in yeast, it's high in sugars, it's high in iron, so it can get very strong.
No, I used to hear years ago that if you drink cashew wine today and you drink an amount to get you high or whatever, drunk, or that the following morning, even though you get sober and you go out when you get sober and you go out in the sun, you get drunk all over. Is that true?
Yeah, I think cashew wine stays a little longer in the human body than a normal alcohol because I've seen that happen. I've seen people.
They get drunk 2 times.
Well, the people they just never sober up. It's the high stay long in a day.
I think I can remember seeing that happening indeed when I was a young person. To a friend, you know, he drank cashew wine the evening, went to sleep, and the following morning he woke up and he went out in the sun. He was quite okay until he went out in the sun. He got drunk again.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think for some reason cashew, whatever that juice is, and always people tell me what cashew tastes like. I would ask some foreigners would tell me, and I tell them cashew tastes like cashew. You can't taste compared to no other fruit, but I think it's so concentrated in the things that convert to alcohol and then the thing is, I think because it's tasty, people consume too much.
Yeah.
So then your body will take a while to get rid of the amount you consume.
So careful when you're drinking the cashew wine.
Yeah, no, they hag
Enjoy
up,
it.
no, they
Not
hag
hag
up,
it up.
sip it, no, they
Sip
hag
it.
up the cashew wine.
Yeah, sip it. Or it's the following morning you're still drunk.
Yeah, and then remember you have to go work Monday morning,
Yes,
so.
exactly.
Um,
So take care when you drink cashew wine. So you still do winemaking as well, right?
Yes,
so you
I'm
do
a-
cashew and you do
I
berry, you
do
said?
cashew and I do berry and I have uh, I, my last bottle of wine I really want you to taste so you know the importance of aged wine. I made it in 2000 because I always write panny.
Okay.
And so if you would like, I could have you taste a
Sure,
little
I'd
of
be
it.
happy to do that. Now, the berry, where you get the supply of berries?
Blackberry, they grow over all those trees you see on in front where you park. Those are all blackberry trees.
Okay.
So we have
So you grow them as well? here?
yeah, they grow wild, and then plus we pay other people to bring to collect for us. You know, some Sand Hill by Baker's Ranch got a lot of berry. You know, Boom. So wherever we could get berries, we so we buy from anybody that wants to bring berries to sell. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Blackberry wine, cashew wine. Those are your two specialties.
Yeah, mostly that's what I do. I've experimented with other wines, but for example, one time I tried Baboon Cap.
Uh-huh.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah,
All
what
it
kind of-
turned to was a lot of grounds and settlings, and no, I couldn't do anything with that.
I see you're planting some pineapples too. Pineapple make wine?
Pineapple makes a good wine. The thing with people, they just go a little too much because pineapple already has some sweet. You want to be careful of how much sugar you add to pineapple. Cashew needs sugar, blackberry needs sugar, but pineapple don't need a lot of sugar, and then the people end up with a sweet wine, which is not the best thing for you anyway.
What's a perfectly aged wine? How many years would a wine have to sit? These local wines would have to sit to be termed as properly aged.
I've tried 3 years, then I tried 5 years. I think anything from 5 go back is a really decent wine, because that first year the wine is a really fresh wine. The second year it take about 3 years for the wine to kind of really smoothen out, and then I like anything 5 years old. I like anything 5 years old, and I keep a bottle of wine every year, like so I could have wine from different years. So, and then blackberries it costs way more to make because it's so hard to. Cashew is all juice. Well, they used to before they start to dry up
Well,
like
well,
now.
uh-huh.
But cashew is all juice, so you can make cashew wine real easy when you have the fruits. And even this crop, after a while, we will get some pretty fruits, because when we start to get a little sprinkle, then we start to see fruits.
So what we're seeing today, but the fruits will improve.
They will improve because we have other crops coming, and what happened, like the first crop already finished falling off. We had a little sprinkle couple nights ago, and then that make the rest of the first crop fall off. So now you'll have the other crop coming on, and if some of this drought eases up, which usually we start again, at least sprinkle, we'll have some fruits again.
Okay.
Because I noticed last year I didn't get some nice fruits until like in May, and then I was able to make like 5 drum wine.
Yeah. So the wines, you'll make them every year, and put them up accordingly, and then after 5 years, then you start dispensing.
Yeah. Well, and what I've been doing too, I also, because I'm one of the first one that started selling travelers cashew wine by the drum from Crooked Tree, and it get to where I decided it makes more sense for me to start aging the wine, and one day I could have a wine tasting, and this is a popular tourist spot, a lot of birders and things. So I quit selling them, and I'm starting to just age them and keep them for when I'm ready to do something like that.
Okay, excellent. So, Ricky, we have been joined by Chairman George Tillett. And Chairman, thanks for bringing us here. We definitely enjoyed our stay here with Ricky at his farm, and we definitely enjoyed what he does, you know, and what he showed us. I enjoyed cracking the cashew nut. I don't know if you saw me cracking the cashew nut, Mr. Chairman.
I was looking at you off camera for true. You look like an expert. Yeah, in cracking them. 16 and non-break.
You know, my sister Rena does cashew seed as well. Prepares cashew seed from scratch in Borough Boom. So I thought I would share that with you, you know, and so I enjoyed the experience. But I have never really taken part, as far as I can remember, in cracking cashew seeds until today. And so it was a good experience, and I want to thank you so much for that experience. Mr. Chairman said he was looking at us.
Yeah, and you did good. I mean, I don't think I've broken 16 without breaking one. So I think you set a record right there, Chief. You did good. It's a natural.
No, might be an accidental record, you know.
Natural.
Right, Mr. Chairman? Might just be good luck or whatever you want to call it.
No, you did it
But I
naturally.
enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed doing it. It was really fun. It was a good experience, right?
I hope your fingers will be intact when you go back home.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, we took the precaution. We
cleaned them
cleaned
up.
up very good.
Stuff, and we added some alcohol.
Yes,
so
that's right.
good.
We wanted to do it really the way how the ancestors did it. You know, there were no gloves in the old days, so you know we had to do it the right way and see what the old school folks go through when they break cashew nuts.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Mr. Chairman, again, thank you for bringing us here, and we're holding a little vessel in our hands. That's because we keep hearing from Ricky here about his wine, you know, his cashew wine. And this one that you're going to share with us is how old, Ricky?
Okay, I made this wine in 2000, and I usually write on the bottles, so I know I didn't make a mistake with this one.
So this is 23 years old?
Yeah, this May is its birthday, so it's 23 years old. Wow. Well, it's not May yet, but I made it in May, so it's just a couple of weeks shy of its birthday. But this, so I really would like to share some of this with you.
Sure.
As I said, I don't have, this is my last bottle, so I can't promise people that they could buy from me.
Okay, and I guess we'll only get a little sip of it because it's your last bottle, so we definitely won't be finishing it, you know. So let's cover that back. I don't know if you want to cover that back. We don't want to drop your last bottle of wine, particularly on the show.
Another thing with this wine, it stains like crazy. One drop on your shirt and you have to use Clorox or whatever. It stains pretty bad. It's a brown stain, so you don't want to get this all over your clothes unless, well, all of my work clothes are all stained up. So, but it stains quite a bit. But
why is that, Ricky?
I guess it's just what's in the liquid. You know, it's got a lot of iron, lot of you know. So the brown, it's a brown stain, but I mean that's all it does.
Okay. Well, Ricky, cheers to you.
23 years of
23 years of
Cheers.
perfection.
Cheers.
We want to wish you the very best, you know, and thank you so much for. Very good. Tastes like 23 years for true.
You taste it?
Yeah, it tastes
That's a
rich.
nice dry finish.
Dry, very dry, very dry. You know, very good. Very
It's a
aged, very
it's a
well aged.
Good, wine for dinner.
Yes.
It went down well.
Yes.
Man, it feels nice going down.
Do you want another?
Ricky Burns and George Chillett. George is the chairman of the village of Crooked Tree. And George, you know, when I refer to you as chairman too, I remember another famous chairman of Crooked Tree, right?
You're talking about Rudolph Crawford?
That's right.
Yeah, he was a long-term.
That's right.
chairman.
Rudolph Crawford, Rudy Crawford. Rudy Crawford, I can always remember Rudy Crawford. And so again, we want to say, think about him as we here in Crooked Tree, you know, Rudy Crawford. Remember, and let us, by extension, think of all the chairmen who have served this village with distinction. I don't know if you want to mention a few.
Well, one that comes to mind in recent time is John Gillett. John Gillett Sr. He have really transferred this village from just normal village life to almost urbancy with the development he brought to the community. So, you know, hats off to him. We have other chairmen like Mr. Donald Tillett Jr., Mr. Darrell Tillett Sr., Mr. Godfrey Smith. And yes, way back when we have some like old Hildebrand Gillett, you remember him? George Guest, Norman Tillett, yeah. And sad to say, the last one that passed at a tender age of 31, Brandon Gillett, who I replaced, yeah.
Yes, Brandon, I can remember Brandon. So
just to touch a little on what these people went through, because one way back we never had no electricity, and yet they were able to, like, in especially Easter was a big thing here. They used to have to push the across where they call wire line, which the causeway is now. They have to push blocks ice from ice factory. They dig a pit, they bury it in sawdust, and 3 days after the sport, they still had ice to give people out. So
Cold drinks.
We had cold drinks, yeah.
yeah, they were great, and they had a lot against them, but yet they were able to. We've had some good chairmans over the years.
Pioneers. Yeah, pioneers, yeah. And like like we said at the beginning of the show too, Sam Tillett will always be remembered as well. You know, Sam was perhaps one of the most activists where Crooked Tree was concerned, where I am concerned, and Crooked Tree.
Yeah.
You know, because I can remember coming to see him so many times here in Crooked Tree. So again, we dedicate this to his memory.
Yeah, Sam would make a meal out of nothing.
Yes.
One little breadfruit, he climb the tree, pull it, fry it, and we have a meal.
Anything you want to say, Ricky, before we...
Well, I want to, with all the climate change and all of that, by the time Cashew Fest comes around, because there's some promising looking fruits on the trees, we're going to have a lot of cashews. We'll have a lot of cashew nuts. I'm hoping the villagers bring out, because I've never seen them have enough cashew nuts out there for Cashew Fest. So they need to try to start to do more every year, more, because people come here and they're disappointed sometimes. They can't get no cashew seed later on Sunday. So it would be a good thing, and I want to, invite the whole world to come, because this is, after COVID, and people feel a little depressed now, they really want to get out, and we've always had a good turnout for Cashew Fest. So look forward to, doing all the things we do out there, the maypole plotting, the greasy pole, the wine, the bitters contest, the nut breaking, all of that. We'll have that and more.
Certainly looking forward to Cashew Fest, Ricky. Ricky Burns, thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful hospitality, and thank you for having me here. And on your behalf, I know you'd like me to greet also all the people of Crooked Tree, all those involved in cashew seed production, because like you say, it's never enough.
Yeah, and you're very welcome, and I hope, we see you soon again.
Definitely, for the fest, for sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Chapman.
Well, Chief, what can I say? It was really, really, really a blessing to have you guys here for almost a whole day with us, experiencing our good old rural hospitality in Crooked Tree. And I'd like to take this medium to invite all Belizeans and foreigners as well, those in the diaspora, to come on out to our Cashew Festival. It promises to be the biggest ever. We'll be having, I hope I'm not taking at time, but we'll be having very good music, Gil Harry 7 and a line of DJs. We'll also be having back again, after a long while, the mechanical rides and good old country food, fire hard style. So come on out and enjoy yourself. It's a family affair.
And the date again?
Yes, the date is the 13th and 14th of May.
Okay, 13th and 14th of May. So if we miss it this year, we'll catch it next year too, around the same time in May.
Yeah.
Right? And the following year, and what have you. The thing is, enjoy beautiful Crooked Tree, the island of Crooked Tree, right in the middle of Crooked Tree Lagoon. There you can feel the love, right? And when you feel the love in Crooked Tree, and loving is always a choice, Mr. Chairman, like we always say, right? Ricky, you could choose to do different things, but you could also choose to love.
Well, love is the best.
Yeah, and you choose you love what you do. You see, you doing this and you love this. You could be in the States sitting down somewhere, but here you are.
This
is with cashew, because you love what you do.
Yeah, I have the passion for this, and I'm learning so much. I would never say I know all about cashew, but every time I learn something else about cashews, and love, you can't go wrong with love. The world would do better if it had more love in it.
That's right, that's for sure. And Mr. Chairman, I know it's for the love of your people too that you put yourself in office and you make sure. I noticed the interest you took when you saw somebody fishing in the lagoon and maybe not doing things maybe the proper way. You said, hey, let me go and correct that situation. So and we took note of all of that, Mr. Chairman, and that shows that the love you have for your village, right?
Yes, and we do all these type of works from our heart. We're not on any big salary, but once you see something going wrong, you got to make a correction. Because the guy was setting his net inside the bung. You know, we have some bong, and he shouldn't be in there setting his net. So, you know, I had to ask you guys for an excuse to correct that.
Correct that. Yeah. Okay, because we love what we do, and you know we choose to love. And when we choose to love, you know what we say? We say Belize and beyond. Thanks for choosing love. Right. Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.